name is Kelly Wolf, and you're watching Cove's Epilogue. Let's get into it.
Wanna grab something to eat? Your early morning escapade had stirred up your appetite, and you're positive it would have for Cove as well. Cove nodded, his gaze shifting from you to roam across the little place you both called home. You beamed, his approval of your suggestion lifting your spirits ever higher. For days growing up in Sunset Blood had been so wonderful. Even the prospect of you leaving again made your chest ache. Yet you weren't going to let that stop you. It would be hard, but you knew they would still be here, waiting whenever you wanted to return. There we go, I've rejoined Mother and VC. Facing Cove, who had been there by your side through it all, you knew one day you'd look back on those memories. Now, and just fondly reminisce about your childhood growing up here. But each happy moment you experienced became only a memory of what it used to be. But that's what life was, and it was okay. Oh, the song restarted again. As it was from the beginning, and continuing that way for always, life took another step forward. Now, like the Sunset Blood. Our wedding. Oh my god. I know who office this is. It's my ex's office. Holy shit. I get to see him again. Sitting side by side on the purple-dyed fox leather couch, you sat with your fiancé Cove. The air in the chic office smelled non-distinctly perfumed, though luckily it was a demure touch rather than smothering. A soft hum came from the air conditioning, gently blowing the scent around the room. It was the first time either of you had been there, and you weren't sure if the atmosphere was meant to be comfort or impress visitors. For some people, it wouldn't make a difference either way, like with your own partner, for example. Cove's hand was intently gripping yours. You could feel him trembling, and hear the squishing noise that the couch made every time he shifted around. One part came from his usual nervousness over these kinds of matters, and the other came from the most uncontainable excitement for the same reason. This place was the headquarters for a well-known event planning agency in the area, and this office belonged to their planner for a very particular type of special occasions: weddings. You had to plan your wedding together. Soon he wouldn't be only your fiancé, but would be your husband. And on that occasion, there was going to be a ceremony, reception, and everything. It felt totally natural and like no big deal to you. This was inevitable. Simply the next step in your long lives together. Today's meeting should be straightforward. Introducing yourselves to the buying team, getting familiar with one another, and going over some basics. The entire process would take multiple visits here and trips to other locations. Before setting up the appointment with the planner, you decided that you were going to set the wedding in, or at least near Sunset Blood. You also had a good idea who would be attending, how large the wedding was needed to be, and a few other details relating to your lives together going forward. That was as far as you'd gone in the process when you decided to bring in assistance. All the planning was going to be great, you thought. Cove noticed the dreaminess in your eyes, and the corners of his mouth lifted hopefully. His second hand reached to clasp both yours and his first. The metallic sensation pressed into your skin, the engagement ring, securely on his left ring finger. Your feet shuffled over the black and white striped rug that covered over the center of the hardwood floor as you pretend to smile back. Here we are. It's really happening. His fingers squeezed your hands deeper into his hold. I'm not really good with, well, any of this. But I'm sure that whatever it ends up being like is gonna be amazing. It has to be, because I'm marrying you. Yeah, and hopefully you only panic a moderate amount along the way. Hey, I'm doing my best. I know. And then there was a series of quick knocks. Your conversation stopped as you shared unsure looks between one another. Come in. In response to those words, the shiny wood door off to the side swung open. Hello, lovebirds. Right, there you go. Look at Baxter for the first time. Yeah, that's Baxter. Looks very different from Step 3, doesn't he? Not really. The only difference is that he's now wearing purple. There's no there's no white. And his hair is completely black. With some purple shiny. Which I've actually only just noticed. And yes, his eyes are wide. Oh, dark grey. As close to black. Standing in the entryway was a tall man about your age. His dark grey hair was off to the side, and on his neck was a distinctive mole. Well, this is unfortunate. Not your union, of course. That's perfect. Two neighbors across the street from each other finding love together. And it doesn't get better than that. Could have instantly spurred out a defensive response. Really? You? Of all the people in the whole world, this can't be happening. Baxter? The former tourist stepped further into the room cautiously. I'm glad you remember me too. And I didn't even have to dress in black and white. You're overwhelmed. This is an incredibly unexpected reunion, and you weren't prepared to face the emotions surrounding the man. It's been a while. Years.
I know.
Yeah, it has been. Cove dropped his response heavily. The tone likely would have been even firmer if he wasn't still in disbelief that Baxter had reappeared in front of both of you. And as a wedding planner of all things. Your wedding planner. What happened? Do you have an explanation for it? Well, as professionally as possible, Baxter strode to the other half of the room and took a seat on the rolling office chairs opposite the couch you were on. He used the tips of his feet to smoothly twist the chair's position, so it faced you completely as you continued with the reply. I went back to college, eventually graduated, joined the great wide career world, grew up, and learned some more. I'm still learning. To fully settle in, Baxter dropped an elbow on the armrest of his seat and rested his cheek against the propped up desk. That's the created version. Life is a wonderful journey. The words were spoken flatly, inauthentically, and punctured with a great dismissive gesture of his free hand. It was impossible to tell if the sarcasm was purely in response to Cove's own sharpness, or if there was something else. Even Cove raised an eyebrow of how clear the displeasure was. Baxter was aware of the impression he was given, but only half shrugged, with one shoulder over it. His eyes drifted away from you and your partner. Whatever the story was, you definitely weren't getting the full version of it. I missed you. A bend in his brows, a small sign of regret. So did I.
Now?
That's my introduction taken care of then. Let's swing things back around to the real reason you came. It was transparently moving away from the topic of your past as quickly as possible. You can only handle this as a professional providing service. You're getting married! Congratulations! You were given an enthusiastic round of applause from the audience of one. How did it happen that the two of you came together after so long of knowing one another? Truthfully, it surprises me that it didn't happen back when I was in town, considering all the sparks you even had then. A fond familiar flush of red crept over Cove's cheek. That wasn't something I was there for. And Baxter, ever so eloquently, tried to brush past the obvious reason why you and Cove weren't together at the time. But an awkward flush of red still crept over Cove's cheek.
I mean,
We started dating kind of back when there was a lot going on in our lives. And after a while, we came back to Sunset Buzz for Callie's parents' anniversary. And it started as a normal trip. Baxter slipped a pen out of his jacket pocket and tapped it against the desk counter at his side. He looked between you and Co, satisfied. Thank you for answering. Considering we're already acquainted, it should make the process that much better. I'm sure your special day is going to be one to remember. It was an easy single word was directed at you. In a whisper, he elaborated on what that was supposed to mean. What are you really going through with us having Baxter on our wedding? I like you too. Cove quietly yelped. It wasn't unreasonable that the person on the other side of the room could hear the conversation, but Cove had not expected him to answer.
it's...
I think I could do it well. I can do it right. There's a very few weddings I'd like to see go like a charm than this one. He spoke in a conciliatory way. Baxter's normal boldness was entirely missing while asking for this chance. Young Co faced one another on the couch. There we go. In English, sometimes. The softness in his eyes, the soaping of his brow, he shared his thoughts without him needing to say a word. He was being swayed. He nodded to your partner. There's a pause, then Co spoke. Okay. You are a partner, and we need a partner, and there's nothing more to it. We don't even really know you. While still on the couch, Co brought up his torso to his full height, and held his head high. The look on his face was determined. Since this is the actual reality that exists now, I got a question for you, Baxter. Yes. Cove's strong stance began to crumble as he shrunk into himself once more. Is your offering for dance lessons still open? They have some very, very wide eyes. Your new partner gasped before quickly settling into laughter with a clap of his hands. Of course. Always. I'm probably gonna need them.
I'm here if you need me.
I understand completely. I'm here for you. And you as well, Callie, if there's a need. You're a good dancer, but it'd be nice to practice with someone. Yeah, I like that. Got it. That works for me. You've known your way around the dance floor for at least a decade, so I imagine you'll be amazing. Now, he shifted closer in the rolling chair with a glint in his eyes that made him look like the teen he used to be. Let's roll out our sleeves and get into the details. Which I don't mean literally. No need to crumple my jacket. But I am gonna have to ask you a few questions. Quite a few questions.
All right.
I'm ready. Am I? To start, have we thought of possible surnames? Yours, his, what are you imagining? I don't care. I just want to marry them. But we actually have to talk about it. Yeah, we're going with... Both of us are using a hyphenated name, Wolf Holden. Good to know. Callie and Cove Wolf Holden it is. Cove strained up against the back of the couch. You could practically hear his heart pounding over your names being said as one that way. It made you giddy too. And what about titles in the wedding? Bride, groom. It can be whichever you like, honestly. Can I be a groom?
Of course.
Of course, it's your day. Can I be called neither? I don't see why not. Callie and their groom for the couple of the wedding. Baxter flipped open a notebook and set it on the desk. I never knew that you could choose to not be a bride or a groom. That's interesting to me. I thought it was always the bride and the groom, not anything else. But I guess it's just because I've been raised knowing people as a bride and a groom at some point in their life. It's interesting. Where's my mouse gone? Okay. Can I get an idea of the scale? Only an estimate. It doesn't need to be a complete guess list. Even if you never know how many of those invites will accept the RSPVs. Don't stress over it too much, over who's gonna be in attendance. Oh! Cove stepped off Cloud 9 he had been hovering on since the start of the conversation, and planted himself firmly on the purple couch in Alex's office. For sure, there's gonna be our parents, 4 of them. Kelly's sister, and their aunt, uncle, and cousin. The grandparents should be there, but all of them. We have our friends, Miranda, Terry, and Derek. We're still friends with Miranda and Terry. That is wonderful. Yeah. That's right. But I was also wondering if we could invite Leon and Jeremy. Cove snorted, covering his mouth to resist a full laugh. Cove snorted, covering his mouth to resist a full laugh. We can try, but I kinda don't think they'll show up. And Baxter's eyes shifted from your face to Cove's, back again. It was sharp. He was trying to read the room. Coworkers of yours?
No.
No. The mouth Cove had rapidly turned into more of a nervous chuckle. He momentarily forgot it wasn't just a conversation between you and him. Leon is someone we've known since we were kids. It's just he's not exactly reliable. He's always done what he feels like and doesn't do anything else. I think Callie likes him more than I do. I don't hate him or wouldn't let him come to our wedding though. I want to do it for Liz. You know she still has a soft spot for him. Alright, and Jeremy? Cove didn't resist laughing, hit with his whole heart that time. We met him at teens, barely. We were like 13, he was a little younger. He was horrible, mean, angry, unreasonable. But thanks to Leon of all people, we met him again years later. Turns out Jeremy's okay, more bristly than hostile. I kind of got attached, even though we're not friends, because Jeremy is the kind of guy who won't describe anyone as a friend, except from Fran. You ended Cove's explanation with him, and had matching smiles with him to boot. I can't believe he grew on me! You've got some interesting relationships. I'll put it down, we can certainly send invitations when the time comes. It'll be up to them to decide what to do with the offer. Who else? Young Cove continued to come up with family members, friends, professional relations, and make the estimate of the size of the wedding. All while Baxter jotted down the information like an attentive student in front of class. And those who you want most and expect to be there, would any of them make up wedding parties, or is everyone a normal guest? We're thinking of having a wedding party.
Right.
Right. We haven't picked exactly who would be in it yet, but we are having wedding parties.
Certainly.
Of course. Let's discuss who's with who now, then. It can be bigger. It can be an equal split between both of you, but that's not a rule. If one of you has a bigger wedding party than the other, it's completely fine. It's all about the two of you. So you can do as you please. Separately, Kovacs offered his thoughts on the matter. I don't know. Maybe it's embarrassing or so done, but great as my friends are, the person I would want that to be my best man is my dad. Yeah, we can offer him $20 to do it. Perfect. That'll work for sure. Having that close of a relationship with your father is a beautiful thing.
What do you think?
Kelly, do you know who will be the leader of your wedding party? The title isn't important. Best man, best woman, best person, maid, man, or individual of honor. It's all fine. Oh, there are so many choices. I could do Derek. Oh my god, there's... Oh no. Oh no, indeed. I feel Lee would love it. Liz would tolerate it. I definitely wouldn't do Kyra. I wouldn't do Terry or Miranda. I'm gonna go with Derek. It just seems right to give him that kind of closure as my man of honor. Very well, anyone else in the parties? I'm good with whichever friends and family being in my party, but I kind of want the sides to be sort of close. So everybody would probably be in Kai's party if there wasn't more of a split. So if that's okay, there'll probably be 3 or 4 in the parties at most. That makes sense. Great. For your own party, you chose. Oh shit. Yeah, that's everyone. Now I'd use wedding crewmates for the title. Then my party's gonna be Karen. And gave him all the adults for a reason. It's perfection. We've got to give him the in-laws and his parents. Like all the friends, he gets the in-laws and parents. I should have given him Liz. Oh well. No, I'll just take him off. I love that. And with that, you successfully mapped out members of your wedding parties. Can I switch out Liz for Ma? I want to switch. I want Ma. I'd use wedding crewmates for the title. Enjoy my sister, you bitch. Right, there we go. We're happy with that. Perfect. I'll make the notes. The statement was made extra clear by the clicking noise of Baxter keenly tapping his pen on the armrest.
So?
On the topic of guests and that sort, are you open to attendees giving speeches during the reception? We can make it so only a select people are arranged to say some words about the couple, or have an open mic for anyone who's interested in talking about it, or just really circumvent from everyone gathering the attention in order to talk. I'll be fine with anyone making a toast or giving a speech if they want.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that too. People are gonna tease us whether it's a speech or not. Good. And are you thinking of writing anything yourselves for custom vows? Just remember it's an option, not an obligation. There's no pressure to make a custom declaration if you're not comfortable with it. Oh. I had custom vows in mind, if I'm honest. Are you okay with that, Ko?
Of course.
Of course. There's a lot I could say, and I'm gonna be really nervous either way. Ko's eyes squinted from his cheeks as he smiled at you so sweetly. You were feeling butterflies already, and the vows hadn't even been said.
Lovely.
Lovely. Just lovely. That is highly personal, so you can work on them privately outside of our appointments. Baxter relaxed into his chair and looked you both over. His mouth curved widely. It was a look that made Cove nervous. You could feel him begin to fidget uncomfortably at your side. Let's talk about tradition and wedding norms.
To be honest.
We're all friends here, so I'll be frank. Hi, Frank. If one of you asks not to get splattered with cake, or for whatever else, and the other person does exactly the opposite, because they because they think it's funny, I will personally see that your marriage ends. If you honor your partner and their boundaries with respect, on your wedding day you don't accept them as a spouse. Now, I sincerely doubt that'll be a problem with you two, but it's an occupational hazard.
In that case...
With that said, do you have any requests pertaining to either ceremony or reception? We can arrange anything special that you do want to include.